So it's now 2024, and it's been nearly 4 years since the Xbox Series X has released, and honestly, I've had it since launch, and it is by far an amazing console. If you're on the fence thinking, should I get one or not? Pause this video and just buy one, because this is by far one of the best consoles I have ever had. But if you want a little bit more of an in-depth review, stay tuned, because I'm going to be talking about the pros and the cons and my personal experience with the Xbox Series X. So let's get right into it. So like I said, I have had this console since the release. I actually wanted to get a PS5, but I couldn't get one, so I got my hands on this, and I do not regret it. Now, I'm going to be starting off with the pros first. The very first thing I noticed with this console is by far it is so visually appealing. I love the way all the games look whenever I play on this console. Halo looks beautiful. The new Starfield game looks beautiful. Cyberpunk looks beautiful. Any game you play on this console is going to have a lot of detail. The colors are going to be very vibrant, and it is just a beautiful console to play on. And I know this sounds weird, but one of my favorite things about this consoles now is the exclusives. And I used to always give that to PlayStation, buy a PlayStation 4 exclusives, but Xbox has been doing a really good job. Redfall is actually a really cool game, and Halo Infinite is amazing too if you haven't played it yet. And I know that came out like 4 years ago, around when the console came out, but with their multiplayer, they continue to update it, and honestly, it is just phenomenal. And also Starfield, which is by far my favorite game that Xbox has released in a very long time. There are so many things you can do in that game. I'm not going to go into too many details, but that game is one of the main reasons why Xbox is, I think, going really hard with exclusives. Like, yeah, you have Forza, you have Gears of War, but Starfield and the way they've been updating Halo is just phenomenal. I love it. If you have an Xbox at all, let me know what your favorite exclusive from Xbox is down in the comments below. Now, moving on from just the exclusives, I do want to talk about backwards compatibility. I love this thing, and I use this as my main source of entertainment. Like, not only do I watch my Blu-ray DVDs on here, but I also go to garage sales from time to time, and I find really old Xbox games. I collect them, and then I just love playing them on this device. That's something PlayStation doesn't really do. The backwards compatibility on this is amazing. Like, if you have a full library of games, you are able to play pretty much all of them. On top of that, like I said, if you're at a garage sale or you're just thrifting or something, and you see a really old Xbox game, whether it's the OG Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, you can definitely play it on here. Now, let's say you don't actually have a lot of physical games, but you do want to experience a lot of nostalgia with older games. This is where Game Pass comes in. And whether you have the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S, Game Pass is one of my favorite things about this console as well, because for $14.99 a month, you get access to a lot of games. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of games. You get all of your old school retro games, and on top of that, whenever a new release comes out, whenever Starfield came out, you can pre-install it, and then once the day hits, boom, you automatically have it on Game Pass on your console. On top of that, you have mobile gaming, so you can play on the cloud. You also have like EA Pass added in that. It's just really cool. And when it comes to this whole gaming subscription thing that now all these other companies are trying to do, Game Pass is definitely the king of it. And yes, with Game Pass, you get like all those features and a lot of those things, but one of the main things I feel like people forget about, or something that I've just noticed recently, is the fact that I get to play with a lot of my friends on PC, or if they have like a Steam Deck or something, they can just install Game Pass if they have it too. They don't even have to have an Xbox, and I can play with them. Before, whenever the Xbox One was out, I kind of used to struggle because a lot of my friends played PlayStation, and my friends who had PCs really didn't have Game Pass. But Game Pass has become so like well known in the gaming community, especially with a lot of people who have a PC, that if you have friends who have PC, they can get Game Pass and y'all can play Halo together. You can play Gears of War together. You can pretty much play any game you want that's on Game Pass with them in co-op multiplayer, and it is by far one of my favorite things to do. Now, something else the Xbox Series X offers is a little something called Dev Mode. It's a little complicated. I also have a video going over that right here, but pretty much you can actually open up your console, go into the software and install an emulator. So if you want to play really old like retro games, you can install RetroArch, something like that, and be able to play really old titles. And that is really sick. Like I said, click that link if you want to watch that, but dev mode is honestly really cool. And so far, for majority of this video, I've been talking about a lot of the pros. Like, the Xbox Series X is definitely a lot more pros than it is cons, but there's one con, and it's not really too bad. It's the actual controller when it comes to the Xbox Series X. Now, out of the box, you will definitely get a controller that looks very similar to the one on the Xbox One, except it's slightly different. You still do have to put batteries in there. I know whenever I talk about the batteries, it's like a touchy subject. Some people love it, some people hate it. Me personally, I don't like it. I wish I didn't have to put batteries in the controller all the time. Yes, you can get these little rechargeable battery packs and like put them in as well, which is also a good option, but I wish they would have given you something like that right out the box. On top of that, when it comes to the controller, don't get me wrong, I love it. It's very familiar. It's very comfortable in the hands as well. It's by far one of my favorite controllers to play with. My favorite controller to play with whenever I'm playing long gaming sessions. However, I do wish they added some sort of like haptic feedback or even like a little speaker. I don't know. The PS5 controller just does so much that I wish like Xbox just added like a little like sound effects or a little haptic feedback, a little something into the Xbox controller. But you know, it's fine. That is literally the only con I have, and like I said, I may be nitpicking. Let me know what you think about it down below. I just wish the Xbox controller had like a little bit more pizzazz. Now, I do have the Xbox Elite controller, which is by far really great. Like, I love this controller. This is super premium, especially playing on the Xbox Series X. It's just phenomenal. If you want to see a review on this controller, hit that button right there, because that video I do a deep dive of this controller. But I like this controller. I like it a lot. The one that comes with the Xbox Series X, I like too. I just wish, like I said, it had like a little pizzazz or something different. But besides that, that is really like the only con I can think of. But the Xbox Series X, if you want 4K, if you want really beautiful graphics, if you want vibrant colors, I definitely think you should go ahead and get this one. And especially now in 2024, I feel like you can really get the Xbox Series X for a good price. You can find it on sale. You could get it like used. Honestly, if you get this console, I promise you will not be disappointed. Now, if you have this console, let me know down in the comments below what you think about it, if you like it, or if I helped you make your mind to pick this console, also let me know down in the comments below. And if you have any questions or comments, anything, leave those down there too. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.